Your Excellency.
Where's the mic?
Your Excellency. Your Excellency, the wife of the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria and First Lady of Nigeria, Dr. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari. I don't want to say represented by her sister and bosom friend, because she's here in dual capacity, representing her sister and bosom friend, as well as in her own capacity, the wife of the Vice President, the delectable Mrs. Pastor Dolapo Oshibanjo. Your Excellency, you're welcome. A mother, a pastor, conservationist, and somebody who is a champion of gender equality. The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Transportation, and our chief host for today, somebody who very often do not like his name called in fools, but today I'll take the liberty of this function. And he doesn't like the designation Alhaji Sabiu Sakari, the chairman of the governing board of NIMASA, a retired general who is not tired, General Jonathan India Garuba. The Chief of Naval Staff, here represented by Rear Admiral Sari Oworibo. Rear Admiral, you're welcome. The Executive Secretary, Nigerian Shippers Council, Chief Executive of the Shippers Council, my brother, Barrister Bello Hassan. The Managing Director, Nigerian Ports Authority, here represented by my brother, Dr. Sekonte Davis, Executive Director Operations, MPA. The wife of the immediate past Honorable Minister of Transportation, Dame Judith Chubike Rotimi Amechi, here represented by a former mayor of Port Harcourt, Nancy Stevens. The rector of Maritime Academy of Nigeria, Commodore Ifedua, the performing rector of Maritime Academy of Nigeria. Commodore, you're welcome. Executive directors in NIMASA, board members of NIMASA, leaders of the various seafaring unions, top officials of government, our ally, Professor Baba of the Arab Academy, Egypt, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the celebration of the 2019 Day of the Seafarer. June 25 is a day designated by the International Maritime Organization, IMO, to recognize the important contributions made by seafarers across the world to international seaborne trade, world economy, and society as a whole. The theme of this year's celebration is gender equality, with special focus on the empowerment of women in the maritime sector. Your Excellency, permit me to recall that the Day of Seafarer was established by a resolution adopted at a diplomatic conference on the revised International Convention on Standards of Training, Certification and Watchkeeping, STCW, for seafarers held in Manila, the Philippines. The original STCW convention was to ensure an international standard of competency and welfare for seafarers, particularly their safety. Whereas part of the revision was to ensure the upholding and celebration of the Day of Appreciation of Seafarers globally. As the world marks the 9th edition of this global celebration, there's a very strong emphasis in the maritime community on the worth and importance of women within the industry. This is with the intention of not only highlighting and appreciating the contributions that they are already making in the industry, but also to encourage more women to take up careers in seafaring and in other subsectors of the maritime industry. In addition, to draw attention to the issues of women empowerment, the need to eliminate various forms of discrimination against women in terms of employment as well as career progression, and the importance of governments to develop policies that lead to equal opportunity and fair treatment of women. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, besides being a fundamental human right, gender equality is essential to achieve peaceful societies and sustainable development. Moreover, research has shown that empowering women spurs productivity and economic growth, and I hope our men will not be envious. Gender equality is the 5th of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals set by the United Nations, and a closer look at some of the SDGs indicates that women have a critical role to play in achieving them. Thus, women equality and empowerment is not only an objective that must be achieved, but is part of the solution to a global challenge. Your Excellency, as an agency, we will continue to pursue policies and programs that will accelerate gender equality and empowerment of women in the maritime sector. In addition to the 304 female cadets who have trained in seafaring since the inception of the Nigerian Seafarers Development Program, greater attention will now be given to the training of female seafarers in specialized courses and areas to enable them to take up professional responsibilities in specialized vessels and offshore operations and maritime sector generally. I am convinced that our women are ready to take up this challenge and assume their rightful place in a male-dominated industry. Similarly, we hope to sensitize industry operators and players on the significance as well as economic importance of bridging gender equality and the need for men to support women towards reaching their potential and navigating workplace challenges. Put differently, for us to have more women at sea and on shore, the men have a major role to play in terms of providing the needed support. Following our resolve to implement the new cabotage compliance strategy that suspends waiver on cabotage manning, the placement of women on board vessels will be given high priority. An enabling environment will also be provided. This year's Day of the Seafarer celebration will not be rewarded if we don't put in place sustainable policies that will guarantee equal and fair employment opportunities for both male and female seafarers. This NIMASA will pursue single-mindedly. It is important to reiterate that the empowerment of women in the maritime communities is a collective one. Therefore, should not be left to the government alone. Gender equality And the holistic development of our maritime sector is a collaborative and collective responsibility.
Let me get the chair.
Your Excellency, it is our belief that the conversation for gender equality in the maritime space will go beyond today's celebration. It shouldn't end with today's celebration. I would like to express my gratitude to all of you for graciously making our time to honor our invitation to this event. We could not have done it without you. The maritime industry is particularly grateful to the First Lady of our country, who is a champion of gender equality. We are also grateful to the wife of the Vice President, Pastor Mrs. Dolapo Usibanjo, and our immediate past Honorable Minister of Transportation, the Right Honorable Chubike Rotimi Amechi, for their various and significant contributions to the increased participation of women in the maritime sector. On behalf of my brothers and sisters, especially the Managing Director of the Nigerian Ports Authority, the Executive Secretary of Shippers Council, the Rector of Maritime Academy of Nigeria, and our Chief Host, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Transportation, I welcome you all to this event, and I wish you all memorable celebration. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, VGC Unimasa.